Hello, and welcome back to the Coop De Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Tommy Lazaridis and Noah Fisher, and we are here to discuss Aston Villa versus Newcastle United from the early kickoff on Saturday, the first game of the season at Villa Park. And yes, not quite the result we wanted, but still plenty to talk about. And in the end, with 10 men, a point, probably not the worst result at all. But we will be getting into what was an entertaining match and much more after this. And yes, welcome back to Coop De Villa Live for another week. Yes, we are here to discuss Aston Villa versus Newcastle. First game of the season. A lot of talk going into this year. Not many changes, not many transfers, and a lot of people sort of questioning where Villa would be this season. If we're going to improve, if we're going to fall off and drop down the table, how we'd go in the Europa League. Things like that, and how the PSR situation would affect the club going forward was also a massive issue. Jacob Ramsey is left for Newcastle. That didn't go through before the match on Saturday, but he's there now. And yes, there's still talk that other players like Leon Bailey, for example, could be out the door. But we've got in Evan Gessard, and haven't seen him yet. He didn't come on at all. But going to the game on against Newcastle, I'll go to you first, Noah. Lovely new shirt there, by the way. I love that.
It's unreal, isn't it?
Kit, rocking the third kit. How did you feel after the game? Because it was a match where we didn't really get going, and then the red card sort of spoiled the game from a Villa perspective.
I mean, yeah, the red card spoiled it, but we had 45 minutes without a shot on goal at home. So, I mean, yeah, the red card, we weren't really defensive, and we're gritty enough to get a draw, and, we absolutely take that 9 times out of 10 from that position. Was it a red card? Yes. I mean, people can say Gordon went down easy, but contact's there. Last man, off you go. I think if we were in the position that Newcastle were, would be expecting a red card as well. To make no changes after that, really, except for Daniel Marlin. Yeah. Coming on, that was surprising. Like, we were calling for changes probably before the red card. We looked pretty sloppy and knackered, to be honest with you. I mean, Newcastle had a pretty poor pre-season, but I mean, if you looked at the fitter sides, I would definitely say it was Newcastle on the day.
Absolutely. And Tommy, there was a few interesting selections from Emery as well. We went in with a team that I don't think any of us picked, where we had only really Rodgers and Watkins, were maybe forwards, and we had McGinn on the right-hand side, Tielemans playing in the number 10. It was quite a defensive sort of setup for a home game and a game against a Newcastle team that were in a bit of turmoil going into this match.
Yeah, I actually don't think we played to win that game from the get-go, Scott, just based on the initial lineup. It would have been nice I thought Marlon, what's that guy got to do to bloody start? He's been brought in last year. He's had a great preseason, incredible preseason, probably been the key standout, right? Even Buendia, I thought, a bit of X factor, why not? But yeah, quite a defensive lineup. We say Ollie and Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers looked like he was trying to overdo it. Ollie's being Ollie, just bad runs and then just whinging. And one time he had a good opportunity in the box, it was just a shit pass inwards. So yeah, no, Scott, really interesting one. I thought we'd come out with a bit more, and I've kind of said this. I'm not, calling Emery out, but had some questionable subs and just questionable decisions by him, all last season. I think he probably needs to he put the hand up himself. Subs aren't being made quick enough, if at all. Throw a bit of X factor into the game. That was calling for a Gessard and Marlon, last 20 minutes, see what can happen, really open it up. Defensively, I thought we actually looked okay. we weren't chopped up that much. That being said, I think there was key moments where if they had Isaac, we'd probably be down 2-3-0. So I think we got out pretty lightly. And I don't know. I don't want to be like, we'll take a draw. I think we got out really light against an undermanned Newcastle side.
Definitely. I think, like that first half, we wanted to set the tempo and we just didn't really do that. We felt, some of the passing, the initial passing was good, but that final ball, Noah, to the likes of Ollie Watkins, to Rogers, these guys weren't really on it. I don't think, and it's really surprising because we've had quite a good preseason and we've looked good. Ollie Watkins has looked good, but in this game, his touch was off. He wasn't getting the greatest service, but he also, made a few mistakes that were sort of unlike him. And then, just silly mistakes at the back. Like we could have been 1-0 down after 5 minutes. Alanga had that chance. Digne and Mings clattered into each other. It was just like a car crash. Like it happened many times last year as well. Like
it was humorous, wasn't it? That first shot on goal from Newcastle. And if that's Isaac, it's a goal. I think Nottingham Forest fans would tell you that Alanga does miss those big chances, and thankfully it was a great save by the world too. It's just one of those weird games, Scott. Like I saw AVFC Stato post like the passing accuracy stats at halftime, and there was like no one above 65% from our midfielders or any player. Like I think
it's terrible.
McGinn was at like 49% complete rate. Like it was a shocking half of football, and the fact that we weren't down at all in the game is remarkable. Like it's one we got away with. I'm not going to lie. Like if I was a Newcastle fan, I'd come away from Villa Park absolutely devastated. 10 men for 25 minutes, half an hour, and we somehow play shocking. One of the worst games I've seen us play under Unai Emery, and we get a point from the game. It's a point game, not a couple of points lost.
Where was that against bloody United, mind you, by the way?
Yeah, exactly. And the only the third 0-0 draw under Emery. We normally, look so much more fluid and dangerous in the attack. McGinn, tries hard. He's a warrior, but playing him on that right hand side negates what he's good at, and we don't have the speed because Rogers is quick with the ball, but I wouldn't call him like a pace merchant. Ollie as well, he's got a bit of pace, but someone like a Marlon or a Bailey, even who is still at the club, I know he's leaving and he wasn't in the squad. Gessard, let's try someone because they were leaving us 2-on-2, 3-on-3 at the back. We had quite a few good opportunities in terms of like breaks where they'd pushed a lot of people forward and we could have caught them on the break, but that final pass and just the endeavor and the kind of know-how to create real chances just wasn't there on the weekend.
I agree. I think, that game was just calling for some pace the last 30 minutes, not the last 7, mind you. Like, why Marlon? I'd be frustrated. I might even be throwing in a transfer request mid-year if he's going to have to put up with this crap, and he deserves better, to be honest. Like, we've seen what he can do. Him and Rogers link up well. Obviously, linked with the Asensio rumours. I don't know if he signed them. I've seen some, non-credible sources saying he has signed, and I do worry if he signs because that pushes Rogers out right, which, again, negates all his qualities that he's good with. In pre-season, we saw him and Marlon operating in tandem, right? Marlon on the right, Rogers down the middle, and they look pretty deadly together. I don't know. I thought Ollie was actually whinging a bit as well. You could see, and hats off to Dan Byrne, who I thought, killed him all game. I thought Byrne had a great game for them. They were good. I don't want to jump the gun, but there's probably a key standout for the entire Villa squad, which I'll let you announce, Scotty.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. The debut of Bissot was quite a day. Wow. And it's such a great feeling. And the big positive, Noah, of this game is we've finally got a number 2 who we can trust, who looks like...
number 2? I don't think he's here to warm pine, mate. I think Martin is going to have to earn his stripes back.
I agree with that. I think he's going to have to, play better than he did last season.
See it, Tommy. Tommy's just gone.
Tommy's left for now. But Noah, How are you feeling with Bissot? You can't ask for a better debut, a clean sheet, 2 or 3 crucial saves, and kept us in the match and kept us with that point.
Yeah, I was buzzing because I put it in my FPL team knowing he'd play, £4.5 million keeper.
Nice.
So I thought it was a good move from me. Tommy's now returning, which is see if we can get him in here. But it's as you said, we can have a keeper that we can trust, and a number 2. I mean, Robin Olsen did have a couple of good games for us, but majority of them he was just getting goals put past him left, right, and centre.
Not good enough.
Nothing of that magnitude, mind you, with so much pressure. Opening day, he's not young. That guy was 34. He played like someone who's 10 years younger. That's for sure.
He's played in the Champions League with Brest. He was a top goalkeeper. So
I agree.
And I agree that he probably wants to be number 1. And maybe he was told in the summer that potentially Martinez could leave, and he would be the number 1. We don't really know what's been said. I mean, Martinez
$3 million, by the way. What a bargain!
Martinez is still at the club. He was in the stand watching, suspended for this match. But the question does, beggar itself. Like, will he come straight back in against Brentford, Martinez? What do you guys think?
Is he forcing a move? So. Was he forcing a move? Maybe Villa didn't want to give in.
I think it was all PSR nonsense. Honestly, I really do. I think that Martinez was going to go as a scapegoat. Then they kind of realised they could do what Chelsea did and sell the women's team. If he wanted to force him, he would have forced it by now. Like, there were interest in him. United put a bloody loan offer in for him. Let's send him out on loan.
But I think who wants to? I think we wanted 60, 70 mil for a 30-something-year-old goalkeeper. I don't think he's actually worth that, Noah. And I wouldn't say he's starting to decline, but last season he was well off the par.
Oh, well.
He did drop a little bit last season, but
he did.
He is a huge presence, and I think if you're a team, who's looking to win things, he could bring that extra added bit of just know-how, experience, and just winner mentality. Because he does have that, and I don't want to lose it. I want him to stay, but he did shed some tears last year at the end of the season, and
very weird.
When it cut to him in the stand in this game, he wasn't exactly like waving at the fans. He was sort of, keeping a bit of a low profile,
wasn't he?
Yeah, a little bit low profile. Like
detached.
So it's a hard one to call, but I mean, I hope we keep him, and I hope he does come back in against Brentford because, they're going to be like throwing in the set pieces with their new set piece coach. I mean, they suffered a disappointing defeat to Forest last night, our time, and didn't look very good in that game. Chris Wood, the Kiwi again, keeps banging them in. Like everyone says,
the fantasy friend we trust.
Everyone says, he won't keep doing it, but he keeps doing it. So
great goals, by the way. Did you see the goals? I think
goals.
Was it the first one where the midfielder's got the ball and he's already started his run and then he's turned around, but he just full faith in your midfielder to find you, and then he was through on goal.
I know that was like a younger R9. You're going around the goalkeeper, but
I agree.
But look, yeah, we could really do with some sort of inspiration in our attack, and that does sort of beg the question: well, what are we going to do in this Brentford game? Because we are away. I mean, I guess it's a bit different, but there's certain things in this particular lineup, and I think Noah, I'd like to share my screen now.
Let's do it.
Oh,
you've done it for me. Thank you. This is my Football Manager game, but as you can see, yeah. This is what we lined up with on the weekend. With we had Watkins up there as a pressing forward. We had John McGinn as like a more defensive winger, inverted winger.
Scott, can you magnify it? Just a quick one. I'm looking at it and it looks like this big. I don't know if you can zoom in a bit.
I'm not sure he can.
I don't think I can.
That's all right. Continue, Scott.
Sorry. No, I will look into that. Hopefully I can find a way to make it bigger, but at the moment I can't. Rodgers playing as sort of like a floater from this left-hand side, coming in, but, he's not really keeping to the touchline like a winger, giving more of a free role. Then Onana and Kamara in these two defensive positions. And Digne, the one fullback who is given the license to get forward. Mings and Konsa, and then Cash, more kind of defensive fullback. But, I don't think Emery's going to shift from this 4-2-3-1. So what do we do? Because I guess the real questions are Rodgers, Tielemans, McGinn in these three positions here across this attacking midfield. Because, personally, I would like Rodgers in the middle. I would like Tielemans back in the midfield. And then you can play Gessard or you could play
Marlon. Play both Gessard and Marlon.
Yeah. And in these and give us a bit of pace, maybe even an Illing Jr. or a Madsen, on the left-hand side.
Illing Jr. looked good.
Yeah, we are lacking a bit of pace and we're looking a bit old.
We look slow. We look so slow.
A bit old and slow in this game. So let us know in the comments, what would you do? Who would you bring in? Do you prefer Rodgers in the middle? Do you prefer Tielemans further back and not in the number 10 where he can... Because last year he played with Kamara mostly, right? In that sort of more defensive midfield playmaker position. And, he was our player of the season. Like, why are we changing that? I know Onana is a good player and he wants to play, but I'm sorry, it seems like we're just putting square pegs in round holes. It's not really our best 11. What do you guys think?
It's almost too defensive, right? There's some teams where we just need to open them right up, and having both Kamara and Onana on the pitch is just too defensive for me. I don't know.
Massively.
Because again, like our attacking
for a
position
home
aren't
game.
really,
yeah,
but our attackers aren't really attackers either. We don't really have any electricity or speed. Gessard.
We
like,
do.
Oh, yeah, you come. It's like he's brought him on to compete with Marlon. What, on the fucking bench? Like, Marlon should be starting if that's the case. We're bringing.
I just can't believe we didn't make any subs. I just cannot believe we didn't make any subs when the game was screaming for pace, screaming for something. Even Buendia or something. But it's just silly.
Buendia, hey, bring on fucking Pau Torres. We're playing Kamara as centre back.
He actually did a good job there, to be fair, Kamara. But I'm saying, honestly, we should have just. We needed pace. And it was screaming for it. We couldn't break them down. What did Newcastle have up front? Pace, pace, and pace. And they created so many chances, and we were so slow, and we couldn't hit a first pass to save our lives, and we're crossing, couldn't beat the first man. And it was one of those really weird games where, geez, we played bad. How did we get a point? And we have a great chance to respond away this week.
And I guess the difference.
Yeah, and I guess the big talking point was the red card. Like, Konsa will be missing, and again, it comes from giving the ball away in a silly position like Matty Cash, not his greatest cross that he'll ever hit. Cut it back without even looking to two Newcastle players who are by themselves on the edge of the box. And then we're just like the pace thing that we spoke about again comes to haunt us. We're 2-on-2 at the back, and Konsa and Mings, they're great at what they do, but one-on-one defending when they've got space in behind them against someone like Anthony Gordon, that's not going
That's not what we want to see, Scott. Where I am, mate.
No, but as you were saying, that's not going to end well.
I disappeared, and then he's disappeared.
Here we go. We got him back. That's not going to end well, and now Scott is back.
That's not going to end well at all. Okay,
we got you at that's not Scott. So proceed.
Sure.
Yeah, well, it wasn't going to end well, but as soon as you put your hands on someone, you're the last man. I know Gordon flops and goes down. I know he does. Like, we all know there was not a lot of contact. You put your hand on your shoulder, you go down, it's a red card. And you got to walk. It's just how it is.
He didn't make the foul, no. That's what pisses me off. He didn't need to make the foul. Mings was there for cover. Just hold him.
That's what I mean. He tried to hold him.
I don't think Mings is getting there.
I don't think he's either.
Gordon's just rapid. I think he's in. And I mean, if I'm Gordon, I'm thinking,
I'm going to try
and stay on my feet. Like,
I'm surprised he went down so easy. I'm so surprised he went down so easy. But
he wanted the red card, not the chance. More, you know
exactly.
what I mean? Like, because he does cut across Konsa, which is the right thing to do. Smart play. But yeah. I mean, now it's 0-0, right? At the end of the game, I bet he thinks, God, if I could have just shrugged him off and kept going, maybe we win 1-0. Like, yeah, but
football's a funny game, Scotty. It's a funny game, isn't it?
It is. And now Konsa will be missing against, a Brentford team that like to put the ball in the box, and he's one of our better centre backs. And I guess Pau Torres will come in, which a few people were surprised he didn't start. So Torres and Mings, hopefully they're up to it, because I think this is going to be a difficult game, especially with the pressure of not having won in the first week. And maybe this, I mean, I know we've got PSR issues, but maybe this says to Monchi and the team in the recruitment that we've got to get some business done. We've got to get some bodies out and some bodies in. Like, we need to sort of freshen it up as best we can with the restrictions we're under. And, maybe bring in some loans.
I wonder how bad it actually is upstairs. That'd be really interesting to know.
We have been fined, haven't? Or we are going to be fined by UEFA for it.
The match ball.
There was the match ball thing. That was different. That was funny. That we didn't have enough balls. We weren't doing the multi-ball well enough. Did you hear this, Noah?
No.
We got fined £125,000 for.
Was that real?
Yeah, for not supplying enough multi-ball. The multi-ball system wasn't good enough.
It means we can delay games and manipulate it. Apparently.
Yeah. Apparently we've been.
That's peanuts, that anyway.
Yeah, that's like.
I thought that was fake. I'm not going to lie to you. When I read that,
it's 3 hours work for Nassif Sawiris.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It was like, it's like 3 days of Marcus Rashford's, contract when he was with us. So yeah. Look. But we have the UEFA sanctions. So if we want to continue playing in Europe, we need to trend in the right direction, and we can only have 80% of our wage bill be 80% of our revenue. And at the moment, last season it was in the 90s. We have cut that back, but next year it goes to 70%.
Oh shit!
So that's that. If we qualify again for Europe, next year might be even more of a tightening of the belt. This is just like, I just respect the guys like Digne even more for taking a pay cut, Mings for taking a pay cut.
It's going to be a bit better though, right, Scotty?
What was the pay cut to and from? Did anyone?
Digne was on about 140, and now he's on about 80, I think.
Oh wow, that's a big pay cut.
Then you got someone like Leonard Ndongo who's on 90,000. He's about to join Raul Oviedo on a free. Coutinho's wages are gone.
Rashford's wages.
Rashford, Ramsey, like all these guys are now off the books, which will reduce it. And then obviously Mings, I think, was over about 100K, and he's now probably 60 or 70,000. Obviously, I don't know.
Wow, that's good. That's like 30-40% pay cut each. Well, don't forget we re-signed Kamara, so I assume he's on much more generous.
He'll be on a lot more.
Well.
He'll be on a lot more.
That offsets some of them.
I've got a bit of
the Steven Gerrard signings are all the ones that are
on a
stupid wages.
Yeah. I've got a bit of a stat for you guys, by the way, as well. Do you know how, Scotty, you were saying that Mings wouldn't have got to that Anthony Gordon track back? Anything like he was, according to his GPS, our fastest player on Saturday at 33.7 kilometers an hour. It was our fastest player. Konsa was our second, I think, with 33.4. Like Watkins with 32.5. So it's pretty crazy, that, isn't it?
That is. I would have thought, there'd be others that are than Mings, but
weird that.
I guess we did have a bit of a slow team. I guess if Maddison plays, if Bailey plays, if Ramsey plays, they're probably quicker. But but Marlon did come off the bench, I guess, and he was.
I didn't see him. I don't see him on this at all. So there you go. It's an interesting one though. I thought that'd be something nice to chuck in. So, yeah.
Yes.
Keep snapping my fingers.
No, he doesn't. It's not you. It's Thanos. I think he means that we're getting rid of players.
Oh, I thought you said Thomas. Sorry, I'm tripping.
No.
Sorry.
Thanos,
I was like, what? I'm like, that noise is normally me flicking my cards, not clicking my fingers. But thanks.
Yeah, you're dealing in the background there. You're dealing
always.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So I mean, like, I think this season, not the start we wanted, but it was not an absolute disaster either. And we defended, quite well with 10 men. I thought we didn't really give them much, and we have to. That is a positive because, like many, I thought, okay, well, we'll probably lose this 2-0 now, and it'll be an absolute disaster. But look, I'm feeling, confident we can beat Brentford. And then after that, the fixtures, didn't have them up here.
We play Palace at home, Everton as well, away.
Yeah, Palace, Everton away, Sunderland away, Fulham at home, Burnley at home. So that
very generous start.
Yeah.
Well, if we're on 3 points now, this is, we could be top of the ladder 6-7 weeks. Could have been.
Yeah, exactly. We could have. Yeah, if we got off to a flyer and really, Ollie started banging them in, it really would have helped. But I mean, Brentford, have been tipped for a relegation battle this season.
That doesn't mean they're a pushover, though, Scotty. It doesn't mean they're going to be a pushover.
I don't think so.
I don't even think Newcastle looked that good, to be honest. We made them look great. They battered us. Alanga was insane.
We were terrible. That's the thing. Like we weren't good at all.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't look great. I mean, there was the Alanga chance, there was the Gordon chance that was the red card, but apart from that, I don't remember too many other chances. Maybe a header for Gordon, I think there was one, but we had Kamara's header, we had Ollie Watkins had a shot on his left.
We're at home.
We started the second half a lot better before the red card, and we sort of, but it is kind of grasping at straws because there's no way we can say this was a positive performance. Did you hear Unai Emery's post-match interview?
He had a go at one of the reporters. Yeah, he had a bit of a spray, I heard.
Yeah, very unlike him. He
sounds like a defeated man.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You could say that, or you could say a frustrated man, or possibly, someone who's got his back to the wall and is fighting. He wants to show a bit of passion for the club. I think it's a bit of maybe all those things, but I think he's certainly frustrated with the PSR situation and the fact that, it's been a really difficult summer. I think he was probably disappointed with the way we played. And, this kind of narrative that, we're going to drop off, where, we were a flash in the pan, we're going to go back to the mean and be, sort of mid-table or whatever, like a lot of the sort of pundits and the ex-players of the big six teams, like, push this sort of thing. And, I didn't see Villa in many people's top 5, top 6 in the predictions. But, look, I hopefully, this has sort of spurred him on and given him a bit of a rocket, and just he wants to prove everyone that, okay, like, we might not been able to spend this summer like we normally can, but I can still get a team that's competitive, and I can still, qualify us for Europe again. That's what I do. So,
but when can we spend again? Like, when will this stop? Because it's just a lot of bollocks, the whole thing.
I know.
Like, are we? Because at the moment, in my, I guess you could say my lifetime, these are the best 3 seasons we've ever had, or best 2 seasons.
We have to do a Brighton,
and we're being punished for this.
We have to do a Brighton and buy and sell like 3 players for 100 mil to even be able to spend. That's how it feels.
Just hire Brighton.
It's just BS though, because we are playing so well. We should be able to go buy these players, but you're overperforming. You can't. Like, it's to keep the rich.
I wonder if they deliberately envisioned this when they saw Newcastle break into the top 6 the first time, Noah, and then now Forest and Villa are there, and actually clubs with a much richer fan base than these big 6, right? You know, like half of them, the fan base appeared early 2000s, right? Chelsea were nothing before that.
Yeah.
Don't want to trigger any
I mean,
fans,
and Man City as well. I mean, like, you know, they were in the third division, the old third division.
It's manufactured success. It's not earned, and you know, it's not years of hardship. And you know, we dominated the 80s, and we were in the mix, and now we're starting to go on that upward trajectory again. And we're getting penalised for it. Like there's people like your parents, Scott, or yours, Noel, right now, Coxie, right? I said people that have been following Villa 30, 40 years, they've seen the ups and downs, right? My 16 years as a Villa fan, I said it's been bloody traumatic more than enjoyable. Now that we get some success, we're being punished for it. It's ridiculous.
All these roadblocks.
We've got filthy rich owners. We're seeing success. We've made champions. They should have been like, oh, war chest is open. We want to compete. Especially after last year. Like, wow, look how far we went in the Champions League. Imagine if we injected some real money into the team. You know?
Exactly. I mean, like, yeah, if this had happened in the 2000s, maybe we could have done a Chelsea or a Man City. But are they going to go retrospectively and PSR them for all the money they spent back then?
No,
they're not.
That's right. Like,
you know,
they don't backdate it fair enough, to be honest. That's the problem with it, guys.
Well, they haven't backdated it at all. The City charges are still ongoing. So
it's like the books are closed. We're not taking any new members. Or Newcastle, you know, Villa, Everton, any of these teams that are sort of, you know, on that next level of, you know, in terms of revenue, in terms of riches.
But it's crazy. How quickly do they sanction Everton? How quickly do they sanction Forest? How quickly do they sanction
I agree.
Leicester?
The Man City one was a pending investigation. For
and because
many
Man
months.
City have 115, they just wait. It's like, how about you do the most recent ones then? Do the last 5 years first and punish them for that. And then do the rest.
Why don't you backdate it to fucking the 1800s? Be like, how long's this club been around? How long, you know, how much effort does it take to keep a club around? Not a club that just comes in at the right time, lots of money, rich owners, is a disruptor, but there's no history there. It's so boring. You see their fans. You win everything. Pep's like, we get some bums on seats. We're finishing fucking mid-table. We've got sell-out stadiums at one point.
Exactly. Like, yeah, and you can't tell me that if we weren't given the opportunity to, like, really spend and really, like, you know, Eden's and you know, was just throwing money at this, right? That we couldn't, you know, become one of the biggest clubs in terms of revenue, in terms of support, in terms of just following, because we do have, you know, we do have a huge following. We've got a great stadium that, you know, I'm sure they've got plans to, you know, redevelop and everything like that. And, you know, we could really, like, push it to the biggest clubs in the world, not just in Britain.
Well, but that's what I mean. Go back 12, 15 years, whatever it is, Scotty, right? Go back when Man City actually started, right? Give us our filthy rich owners right now. Back then, I said, Pep will be coming to us. It's like a team with a lot of money, cheap team with ambition, rich history. That's how you attract it. Now the damage has been done. All these teams have made their runs. It's ridiculous. And good comment by George. I did see that.
Scotty makes a good point here. Like, the fact that we've got Emery, I think, is saving us. And I know we spoke about earlier how he's made some, like, interesting and maybe questionable decisions recently, last season, and, you know, maybe in this game as well. But he is really, you know, our stardust, and, you know, hopefully he can, you know, he can get, like, a squad that's maybe not as expensive as previous years and not as big, and, you know,
get the best out of them.
Yeah, try and, like, lift the level and get, you know, squeeze as much out as you can, you know, because we still do have the basis of the spine of a solid team. We've got Ollie Watkins, we've got Kamara, Tillemans, Rogers,
got the kids,
you know, Emi Martinez, you know, Konsa, Mings. You know, we can still, you know, we can still win things. We can still win a cup, like a Europa League, an FA Cup. We can still finish in the top 4 or 5 for Champions League next season. I think if we can just keep a lid on the PSR and kind of survive and not lose anyone else, not lose Ollie Watkins before the end of the transfer window, or Morgan Rogers, or, you know, someone like that, you know, and we can get to sort of February, March, still in it, then we can push home and hopefully have a cracking end to the season.
But with this Jacob Ramsey transfer, right?
I was going to say, the only team that could bring in for Uli actually wouldn't even be Chelsea now. They got Pedro unless they flog off Jackson. But I feel like everyone signed forward, so we've almost safeguarded ourselves for another year with him.
Yeah. Sorry, Noah?
I was going to say, with the Jacob Ramsey transfer, obviously all the PSR talk, I've never seen players speak on social media like they did after this Jacob Ramsey transfer. With Tyrone Ming saying, like, I never want to hear anything bad said about this guy. You guys don't know anything. John McGinn putting a post out saying like how good it was to play with him, and he's upset to see him go. Like when Grealish left, I saw none of this. I saw absolutely none of it. But I don't think Jacob wanted to go as much as he probably did.
I think he done a Dougie, to be honest. I think it was like, I'll take one for the team. It sucks, but I think it's club first, which they understand.
He apparently didn't get the raise in wages he was looking for. Is that the story out there? He got offered a contract and didn't sign it.
And then Villa said, "We'll sell you then." Probably. Obviously, we don't know. We're not there.
Well, hang on. Mings and Digne's on a lot of money. Well, he's got a good agent that negotiated, but he didn't need to take a 60 grand pay cut. So if people are taking pay cuts and you're being offered at least the same money, be grateful. And especially being a Villa fan, where's club first mindset?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. By what they're saying, like you don't see players acting up like that. I just think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes of PSR than we obviously know.
And the Newcastle part is weird for me as well because they've got a lot of players like him. Gordon,
Jacob Murphy is actually better than him.
Jacob Murphy, Alanga, Harvey Barnes, I don't know if he's going to force his way in. Is
it Champions League? Is it just to get his name out the door? I don't know, and then maybe move on to somewhere else. Also,
Thomas Tuchel mentioned him in his first, press conference as a potential someone he's looking at.
He was close.
Yeah, he was close to being in the squad, and now he's kind of put that in jeopardy. I mean, I guess if he goes there, rips it up in the Champions League, he's probably thinking his agent's saying to him, look, you're going to a big club. You've got more chance of playing in the World Cup at the end of the season if you go to Newcastle and you do it there. But I think he was going to play under Emery. So, I mean, it must have been a PSR thing. And, it's disappointing because, should it have been the Gassard signing? Sorry to cut in, Scott. That maybe piss him off thinking that's another person that plays on the left side, whatever it is, arguably where I am. That's enough. Plus, Rodgers is getting pushed out wide, and I love Ramsey, but I wouldn't be putting him in front of Rodgers right now, not yet. I mean, he's got a lot more in the tank, and he's a better all-round player, but Rodgers has X factor, which unfortunately is what determines good and great. Absolutely, and Rodgers plays every game. Like Ramsey's out a lot injured recently. Last 2 or 3 seasons, he's been very injury prone. I think
that's why Scott, 40 million for an injury prone player, and I love Ramsey. Don't get me wrong, but I always said we get 40, 50 mil, bite the hands off.
Yeah, I think we had to do it in the end. In the situation we were in, and it sucks because will we ever get another, Jack Grealish, another son of Jacob Ramsey, someone who comes through and he's like an absolute superstar for us, and we keep it's almost like it's not just us, it's other clubs too. Like if you're a homegrown talent, you're out the door. Like Chelsea have done it, Man United have done it. Just selling players, that you think, why are they selling him for? But it's just because they're a homegrown player and they get 100% profit for PSR. So,
yeah, I mean, 40 mil, as Duncan says, is great business. And at the end of the day, it's the modern day we live in right now, Scott. And unfortunately, it just seems to be the way of the future for us.
We move forward. That's all we can do.
Yeah, and I think we will.
Next game.
Brentford predictions.
Predictions.
I'm excited to hear Tommy's here. I'm really excited to hear Tommy's.
You ready?
Okay, go Tommy.
1-0 Villa. I think it's going to be a dogfight.
New year, new Tommy. Where's the 43-2
Yeah,
predictions?
but I think Konsa being out's a bit of a rough one, and they've got their new striker as well. I saw he came on and looked half decent, so I think if Torres starts, he's going to have his hands full.
Is that Thiago for Brentford? Igor, the Brazilian guy. Yeah. Okay, well, what about you, Noah? How are you feeling?
Good.
Brentford away.
I'm feeling good going into Brentford away. I think it's going to be a great away end to be in for the lads travelling. I think, how many did we get? 2,000 maybe? I don't know exactly what it is, but going to Brentford's always nice. I think we're going to win 3-1.
Beauty.
Okay, 3-1. Well, I'm going to say I was going to go 1-0 as well for Villa. I think Ollie Watkins always seems to score against them, right? So, I'm going to say 1-0. Why not?
Excellent.
And how's your fantasy going so far?
I think I scored. I think I'm on 40 points at the moment.
I'm currently third in the league.
I'm 14th in the league.
I think I'm like fifth. I said, but I will say Reinders is a great pick. Solanke's let me down so far.
Let's have a look. I know there's still Nick's on 72 points. Brian's on 68. Scott Cooper, who's that, on 66. Cliff wraps up the Champions League spots. He's on 62. Tommy, you're just behind. Oh, Owen's 5th. Tommy 6th. Myself in 14th. Not good. Luca, what's going on, Luca? 19th spot.
Where's Mohammed Adam? Is he?
Mohammed
he must
Adam.
be down. 17th in the relegation zone, Mohammed. Again.
Come on.
Are you the worst FBL player of all time, or are you like, come on, man? I expect more from you. This is a worse start than Villa.
Wildcard, Mohammed. I've already wildcarded, boys. I'm doing it.
That's crazy. That's crazy business.
Well, look.
You know what I've learned for next year? Pick proven fucking players. None of this foreign stuff. We said flops. No one said Florian Wirtz at 150 million. He's got more expectations than anyone to live up to. And I think Arnie Slot kind of called him out a bit of a scapegoat.
Yeah. Interesting. Sometimes you just got to, got to get those players that are guaranteed points. But look, that's our show for this week. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends about us. Aston Villa Pod, reviewing all the games. So we will be back next week, of course, after Brentford. So until then, up the Villa, and we'll see you next week.